Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 345, and wow. I gotta give you an enemy update. I've been referring to the fact that, man, this bad boy has been a challenge lately. It's been a challenge since I started the brand, honestly. But before I get to some of your business questions, I actually wanna just tell you kind of what the state of affairs are at Enemy. Because it's been a while since I've talked about it. You guys know that I was changing my strategy. I was getting rid of all the large sizes. I needed to retool things. I needed to basically change some of the components. I needed to make it a more affordable sunglass because for you guys that have been following along from the beginning, when I originally designed these sunglasses, I was planning on selling them for like $150 to $200. And so I built them with the quality that I had that margin in order to do that. Well, anyway, long story short, that was the wrong price point, and so I'm like, fuck, I got to sell them for under 100, and the problem is that I never had the margin, right? If these things cost me what they cost me, and I'm trying to advertise and do paid advertising, I needed margin in there to try to get in front of cold traffic. Well, by the end of the day, I never figured out a way in order to scale this business, primarily for a few reasons. Number one, I was an idiot, and I was trying to satisfy everybody, right? I was making all different sizes and all of the frames, thinking that, I wanted to be something for everybody. Huge mistake. When I really dialed it back and looked at what I was selling, I was selling 80% of these 4 styles and colors, but I had at the time, I think it was 30, I forget off the top of my head, but it was 30 or 40 different versions and iterations, and it was a disaster. And they were sitting on shelves, and anytime you've got product that isn't moving, it's dead inventory. Think of it as dollar bills sitting on the shelf. You do not want product on the shelf. It's better to sell out, order more, even if people have to wait a little bit in order to make sure that the inventory that you're having is churning, people are buying it, and you don't have a bunch of dead inventory in stock. And so last time I really talked about Enemy, I was like, yo, if you want one of these larger size sunglass, final sale, you're getting it for 50% off or whatever it was. And they flew. I forget how much, but it was a lot of money really quickly. You guys were amazing and helped me clear a lot of the inventory. Basically, I sold them for cost. Anyway, the other idea and reason why Enemy was not super great is the website sucked, with a capital sucked. And the reason is because I was every image. Which is fine if you know Aaron Marino or Alpha M, or if you like me. If you hate me, that's not good. Also, I don't necessarily have the best face for sunglasses. I got a big nose, and I'm not poor me in terms of my looks, but I gotta be honest, I don't look that great in these sunglasses. Some of them I look okay in because they're great sunglasses, but long story short, the other thing that happened, I'm just giving you a recap. Everything's flooding back. I had a business partner, somebody that was helping me, that ghosted me, that I thought was going to be helping me along with the business. He took off because he wasn't making enough money and wanted to do other things. So fine. All right. So now I'm left with this company. What do I do? Well, what I decided to do was pull things back and retool everything. Basically blow it up. And I blew it up. The website, gone. Well, I am pleased to announce that as of today, the day that I'm filming this, it is the 22nd. I'm filming this a little in advance of when you're saying it. The new website is officially live and launched. We did the best testing we could, but what I want from you and hope that you'll go do is check it out. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I just want you to kind of look around and let me know down in the comments what you think. What do you think of the new branding, the new direction, kind of the new look and feel of the site? It looks and feels, in my opinion, more like an e-commerce sunglass brand as opposed to Alpha M, who has sunglasses that are sexy, right? The other feature that I really want you to try out that I'm really proud of, is the try-on feature. All right, it's really cool. We had to basically get this technology and then customize it to the Enemy Enemy frames, but I think it's really badass, and it's really representative of the size and the way that the frames actually look. It works better on a PC, but you can use it on mobile as well. But it's really cool, and you can actually change the different frames while you're in there, and it's amazing how kind of accurate it is. Now, it's not 100% great. It's not some mind-blowing technology, but it's pretty good. And I want you guys to try it, check it out, and see what you think. I think it's good, but I'm not the end user. You are. So down below, let me know what you think of the website. Do you like it? Are there problems? If you notice problems, let me know down in the comments. But I'm proud that this thing is launched. It took much longer than I was hoping it would. The other problem is that we have had like no inventory. Like I'm talking like zero inventory over the course of the past few months. And I'm trying to be super transparent with this stuff. I'm actually going to tell you over the course, because we didn't have inventory. If we don't have inventory, we're not making sales. Well, everything was sold out. And with the supply chain issues that's going on with China and the shipping and everything, the lead time on some of these orders, what used to take 3 months is now taking like 6 months. And so we have a bunch of big orders in. Some of the orders are with the existing sort of components, but another order where it's a bigger order is actually the new components. I got them. I was like, oh, these are perfect. Like you can't tell the difference, and they're amazing. We also have 2 new styles, the Enemy 5s and the Enemy 6s. Problem with that though, the problem is that the sunglasses ended up being larger than I wanted them to be. I don't know how the miscommunication happened or how I did not look at sort of the CAD drawings close enough in terms of the sizing when I said, yes, these are good, but they're a larger size sunglass. And so that's kind of a bummer. Now, I knew that the 6s are going to be a large size because they are a large, kind of like stunner shade, but they're bigger than I hoped they would be. And so we only got 200 of each style in each color, so there are only 2 colors of each. So technically it's 800 pairs of sunglasses. So it's going to take a while to sell them. I need to get and make sure that I have photography for these sunglasses before I launch, because you got to see what they look like on dudes in terms of the size of their heads and their faces. So anyway, let me pull up and just show you how bad it was in terms of the months leading up to this month. These are the sales for the last 90 days, all right? It's $62,000. It's down 72% over the previous year's numbers. And the previous year's numbers weren't that great either, because things were getting all weird and shifting and stuff like that. So 3 months, $62,000. That's not much in terms of sales compared to like what I was doing. We just haven't had the inventory. And so, the good news is that inventory is literally on its way over here. We just got a small shipment of our most popular sellers, which are the Enemy 1s, solid black with the polarized lens. And so, so we got some inventory, not much. It was a small little order. We've got 2 big orders that are on their way. And then we can kind of get down to business and really start marketing again, which it's okay. And why I say it's okay is because in order for this to kind of grow and become a brand, a real brand, I needed to basically blow it up and start from scratch. Everything from, the sunglasses needed to be completely like refabricated in terms of the components. It's still crazy, super high quality. And that's the thing that's so, I guess, misleading, is that a lot of these sunglass brands that you're spending $300 for, the cost to make them, $20, right? And it was more than that for the Enemies that I was building that cost, I was selling for $95. And so, it's all about margin in terms of figuring out how to really scale this and grow it. But I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it. But I'm kind of a little bit like battle worn with this business. It's been hard. It's been hard, going through everything. But, whoever said success was easy has never been successful because success is hard. Anything you want to do, anything you want to try is going to be challenging. So this year, I'm excited for the new website. I think it looks awesome. I'm excited for trying to figure things out and test different things, different marketing strategies, different ads. I need to figure out what that mechanism is in order to sell these things to a cold audience for a reasonable price. If I can do that and figure out how to scale it, then Enemy could be a monster business, because the sunglasses are incredible in terms of the look, the style, the comfort, the quality. And the other thing is our reviews. Our reviews have been insane. So we'll see. I haven't figured it out yet, still in process, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update and tell you that I'm still working on things. But the first piece of the puzzle, I should say, the second piece of the puzzle, the first was figuring out the component and the retooling of it. That was first. The second component is the website. And so go check it out. Let me know what you think. See if you dig it. If you do, please let me know. If you don't, let me know what your constructive, negative, or constructive feedback is. You know, that's one of the things that I would hope that you could do, and not just hate it because you hate me. but whatever, I know some of you do. Anyway, I love you regardless. What I want to do now is get to some of your amazing business questions. So the first business, oh, and by the way, if you watched last vlog, I did the video, my last video, and it turned out really well, and the feedback was amazing, and it felt so good to kind of get that off my chest. If you missed that video, go watch it. It's one of the ones that I'm actually very, very proud of. Anyway, but at the end, I lose it. I cry, whatever, I'm emotional. Maybe I got something going on. All right, here, I'm kidding, I'm just an emotional guy. And you know what, here's the reason why, and let me just clarify things. Like, in my daily life, I am not a crier, right? I'm not somebody that like, woo, or super emotional. But when I think about sort of YouTube and you guys and sort of where I was in terms of the fitness center and just being down and kind of out to where I am now in terms of, you know, just feeling fulfilled and happy, it's not lost on me. And so when I think about that, I get really emotional because it's powerful and it rocks my world, you know, honestly. And so that's the reason why I get emotional when I talk about that kind of stuff, is that I'm so thankful and appreciative of you and kind of just where things are, because I can honestly say that I'm very fulfilled, and I'm generally a very happy person. Anyway, the first business question comes from our friend Valak Kalkovitz. Wow, I just slaughtered that name. Sorry, brother. Good to be here. Thanks for having you. Thanks for having me. Anyway, in the last video, you talked a lot about Amazon and how with them, Tiege, and Pete Pedro, substantial growth in terms of sales. I know that in order to get more sales, Amazon sellers are required to gain a lot of reviews. And you cannot get a lot of reviews at the early stage because the product is basically last in the search for the category and people don't buy it. Let alone that most of the people just won't leave a review even when they buy the products. This is true. I get all sorts of emails from people who are like, hey, leave a review. I'm like, F you, I got too much to do. Therefore, the products won't get high in the search results or category and they will fail. How did you kickstart your brands on Amazon? Any hints or strategy? So let me ask you a question. Amazon, I think, is incredibly important in terms of a topic to talk about because there's a lot in there, right? It's got good stuff, it's got bad stuff, but it's not going away and it is a monster. I think 1 in 3 products bought online comes from Amazon. I have friends that have pulled products off of Amazon. I personally have gone basically like I've doubled down on Amazon for Tiege, Hanley, and Pete and Pedro, and have seen incredible results incredible sales, which I think I'll dive more into if you want. All right, so here's my question to you. Do you want me to do a vlog dedicated to kind of talking a little bit more about Amazon, my thoughts on it, some of the strategies? Because the other thing is you see all these people online talking about like how to start businesses, how to buy Amazon businesses, how to create a passive income stream through Amazon. Do you want me to talk specifically about Amazon next week? If so, down in the comments say, yes, Amazon, please. Because I do have some insights that I've learned, and I was a not super big fan of Amazon, but I've been proven wrong to some degree. Now, it doesn't come without its problems because Amazon is definitely not a perfect beast, but there's upside to learning to use it. And honestly, there are a lot of people that create stores, put products out there, and build a big successful businesses all. Anyway, if you want Amazon, I think this is a big enough topic to discuss in and of itself. So down below, let me know, say, yo, Alpha, talk about Amazon. I also want to just say to Felipe Vital, gave an update on one of the questions that was asked. Felipe had a boss that was kind of the problem, a lot of turnover, and he was wondering how he should approach him. In last vlog, Felipe gave an incredible synopsis of kind of the breakdown of what actually happened. And Felipe, if you would, do me a favor and copy last week's comment to this vlog so everybody can kind of hear how you handled a boss that was a little bit tough to deal with. Great, and congratulations. I'm very, very impressed and proud of you. The next business question comes from Gary Hernandez, Self-Defense and Urban Survival. What's up, Gary? Anyway, he says, Aaron, I heard you talk about hiring the right people. What is your take on hiring people over 50? I'm almost 50. Do you feel it's better to have younger and more energy in them, or do you prefer a little older with more experience in them, even though they may be closer to retirement age? So, Gary, hell of a question. Personally, I don't know that this is an easy one to answer. Hold on, is my autofocus off? There we go. Sorry, I think my autofocus is. I'm not refilming that, all of that stuff. Anyway, this is a tough question. Younger employees are different nowadays. How do I say this without? How do I address this topic? So there's good and there's bad with both people. Personally, I love older employees that are a little bit more seasoned. Now, the downside to some of the older employees is that a lot of times they have not grown up with social media and sort of some of the newer technologies. But depending on what position you're hiring for, it might be fine. I also think that some of these older employees, once you start getting up into the 50s, in that age range, you feel a little bit like you're not as needed, or not as you're not taken as seriously or considered as often as, or as much as some of the younger, hotshot talent or whatever. So I really think it depends on the position. Now, some of the younger people that come in, it's a different world, right? They want different things than some of the older people are going to want, and expect really to double down on culture. A lot of the younger employees nowadays have to feel good about what they're doing, have to feel good about the company they're working for, have to basically be inspired. And so some companies are built for this, some companies are not built for this. But the other thing you have to understand is that, nowadays when hiring an employee, people don't ask for raises, they just change employers. And so if you're hiring somebody who's young, know that they're probably going to be almost, as soon as they get hired, they're going to be looking for kind of their next move. A lot of the older people, however, are looking for a little bit more of a secure situation. And so that's my experience. And so coming into a good company, they are better suited and thankful to have an opportunity and grow with the company. A lot of the younger guys, depending on what you're doing, may want equity. They may want basically more perks, more things to, it's different. And this is one of the things that I learned from a company that I went to visit. I don't even remember the company's name. Basically, it was like a competitor to GoDaddy. A long time ago, I was hired to go out and do some videos for this company. GoDaddy basically buys a lot of these small hosting platforms and takes them under the GoDaddy umbrella. Well, I was hired to go out to this company that basically acquires all these different domains like Bluehost and HostGator, and they basically own a lot of these little companies, but they keep them with the name and hold on. Endurance International. Most of you have never heard of Endurance International, but let me do a search for, the revenue in 2012 was $100 million. Number of employees, 1,000. This is back in 2012. Let me see. Companies that Endurance International Group owns. 80. There are 80 different companies that Endurance International owns. So anyway, Bluehost, HostGator, Site5 are a few of the popular ones. Anyway, so I went out there and it was in Boston, I believe. Their company was in Boston. And so they flew me out there. I stayed and I went and I filmed a bunch of videos because they were trying to create content for their platforms. And so what really struck me when I went in there is it was like a party. In terms of, it was amazing. All of the food every day, lunch is provided. It was a tech company, right? A lot of these companies out in Silicon Valley, Google and all these big companies, this is Facebook, this is what it was like. I had never experienced that. And so you've got, these pods, and they can work here, and they have ping pong tables, and it was a very like amazing experience. And I was talking to the guy, I go, isn't this like counterproductive? Like, does productivity go down? He goes, in order to get the top level clients and young people coming out of college and from these awesome companies, you need to provide this, or else they're not going to work for you. They're going to go and work for somebody else. And so I don't know why I told you that. I guess it kind of fits, but the age difference does matter in terms of what the employee is going to be looking for in terms of a job and then the future. And so I think you really need to figure out, but I'm going to bring it back. But if you're going to hire a 55-year-old dude to handle your social media marketing, who probably just got probably not, right? Younger people are going to be more proficient and experienced in some of the more technologically, advanced sort of skill sets. And so you really just need to figure it out depending on what you're looking to hire for. But personally, I like both. I do actually, I think, connect and resonate a little bit more with some of the older employees because I'm an older dude, right? I also am a realist. I've said this many times. Nobody would hire me in terms of if I decided to try to put a resume together and go into a company and get hired, unless it was like a very low entry job. I could probably sell gym memberships. They would hire me for that. I could probably work retail. They would hire me for that. But if I was trying to go into a management role in a bigger company, nobody would hire me. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I don't have the skill set that a lot of people need. I also, entrepreneurs are not super hireable, even though they have experience, even though they would make an amazing employee. A lot of companies and people don't feel that they would because they're A, looking to do their own thing again, or B, don't have the chops and the skill sets that are needed in order to move the company forward. And so if I lost my job, I'd be effed. Great question. Actually, I got 2 pairs of glasses. Which ones do you like better? Tortoise, minimal, or darker, bigger tortoise? I'm not sure. And for the record, all my glasses, they come from glassusa.com. Talk about cheap glasses. These things I think cost like $30, but I've had these things for years. My favorite. Or these my favorite. Anyway, back to your questions. Where was I? Here we go. Okay. Arizona living. And this is going to be the last business question. If you have a business question, down below, start with business question and ask it. Next week, I'll get to some of your business questions, hopefully after I talk about Amazon. But the Amazon beast is a beast. And so it might take the whole time, but you never know. Anyway, Arizona Living says, Yo, Alpha, do you make your own thumbnails or do you outsource them? I make my own thumbnails. I make my videos, I edit my videos, and everybody's been telling me that I need to give that up. I've held on to it. In terms of my thumbnails, I've actually, I hire Christian. If there's Photoshop needs, then I have him do it. I'll basically send him the images, say, hey, this is what I want, use this font, put this here. So I'll direct it. But a lot of the thumbnails, if it's just an image and I'm doing something and there's plain text, it's me. But Christian helps more now than he used to because thumbnails are so important. But I've also had agencies reach out to me that have been like, hey, we'll make your thumbnails. I'm like, okay, make a thumbnail for this video. And I've gotten them, and it looks like everybody else's thumbnails that has thumbnails made by somebody else. And so thumbnails are something that I am thinking more about. But really it's about, thumbnail, yes, it's important. The most important thing, title, topic. But what that video really showed me the other day when I posted my last video, if people are interested in what you have to say, they'll still watch. If not, they won't. Gentlemen, that's where I'm going to wrap things up. And thank you for being interested enough in today's topic and this vlog. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button. It's free. If you haven't dropped one of these, drop it because we need it. Anyway, that's where I'm going to wrap things up. As always, we love you more than our double monk drop shoes. And again, which glasses you like? Tortoise or Darkwoods? I can't tell. You're amazing. Thanks for watching.